Did you know there's an extra knight who has the blood of a god running through his veins? And armor made from a material that even the gods of Olympus can't explain? This is a warrior who is trained by the cruelest of the Gold Knights, but who ended up becoming the ultimate sacrifice to save humanity from a gigantic threat. This is Mei, considered the sixth lost bronze knight. Hello, knights and Amazons, welcome to the channel. Always wanted to know I'm Wes, and today we're going to break the seal on one of the darkest, most violent, and fascinating stories in the franchise, the Gigantomachia. More than just a simple curiosity, we're going to answer a question. Will Deathmask's lost disciple finally appear in a new animation? Prepare your hearts and raise your cosmos. Because what Toei has kept locked away for so long? I'll tell you everything now with all the details, so go ahead and click like, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into this awesome music video. To understand the weight of this story, we need to talk about Mei in the expanded universe of Saint Seiya. He's not just another orphan sent by the Grodd Foundation. He's connected to a tragic destiny. Mei isn't part of that original group of 100 children sent by Mitsumasa Kido to the most inhospitable corners of the world to earn their armors. He is the legitimate son of old Kido and decided on his own to become a knight. While Seiya went to Greece and Shiryu to the 5 peaks of Rosen, Mei's destination was Sicily in Italy, specifically on the slopes of Mount Etna. And here's a very interesting fact. He became the official disciple of Deathmask of Cancer, being simply the only disciple of Deathmask. In the classic saga, and this character's story is official, being told in the book Saint Seiya Gigantomachia. Imagine the scenario of being trained by the man who believes that strength is justice, and who collects the faces of men, women, and children on the walls of the 4th Zodiac house. Mei's training was a psychological hell. He didn't just learn fighting techniques, he learned to survive the cynicism of the Gold Saint, Deathmask. Despite his cruelty, Deathmask recognized in Mei a latent potential that went beyond the 88 official constellations. Unlike his bronze brothers, Mei never earned one of the standard armors. He was destined for the Berenice's combat armor, also known as the Hair of Berenice. This would be the same armor used by Berenguer in the Abel movie and in the Knight's Mythology. This armor is classified as one of the 4 armors of unknown nature. It is not bronze, silver, or gold. It is made of a black, matte, and indestructible material, which uses ultra-resistant orichalcum threads as its main weapon. These threads are capable of cutting through anything. The story of the Gigantomachia is written by Datsunsui A. Hamazaki, under the supervision of Masami Kurumada, and fills a crucial narrative gap, the period between the defeat of Poseidon and the beginning of the Hades saga. The sanctuary was in ruins. Most of the Gold Saints were dead after Saga's rebellion, and the Silver Saints were nearly extinct. It is in this vulnerable scenario that the Gigas awaken. They are neither gods nor humans. They are the children of the earth, the goddess Mangaya, beings who were born with the sole purpose of destroying the gods of Olympus. Led by Typhon, the personification of chaos and storms, the Gigas bring a war of biblical proportions to the sanctuary. Unlike the specters of Hades, who follow a military hierarchy, the Gigas are brutal and instinctive. We have figures like Agrios, the embodiment of brute force, a giant with physical power that rivals Taurus Aldebaran. Toas, the swift lightning who challenges the speed of light of the Gold Saints. Pallas, the fool whose endurance is so high that ordinary attacks don't even scratch him. They don't wear armor, but instead garments made of gemstones and minerals extracted from the Earth's core, which gives them a unique aura of elemental power. If the Gigantomachia were adapted into an anime, we would see new faces that would change our perception of the sanctuary. Such as, for example, Nicole of Alter, who is the Silver Saint of Alter in the classic saga. In the hierarchy, he is the direct substitute for the Grand Master. Nicole is a brilliant strategist. He doesn't fight only with his fists, but with his intellect. His presence explains how the sanctuary works bureaucratically when there is no Grand Master on the throne. Yuri of Sextant, a bronze saintess in charge of observing the stars and deciphering omens, is kidnapped by the giants. Serving as an emotional trigger for Seiya and Mei's journey, she shows that not every knight is meant for the front lines of battle. There are logistics and intelligence specialists within the sanctuary. Mei's sacrifice. Without giving too many spoilers, Mei's journey ends with a shocking revelation. He carries his body, the necessary seal to imprison Chiffon. He is simultaneously the hero in the prison of the greatest threat Earth has ever seen. There are three main reasons why fans are clamoring for this saga to be adapted into an anime. While the classic anime has that hopeful shonen vibe, Gigantomachia is Siren, literally a story made for an older audience. There are detailed descriptions of injuries, and the suspense and the feeling that Athena could actually lose is constant. It's a story of mythological survival. The work explores the concept of the seventh sense and cosmos in a much more technical way. It details how the cosmos interacts with matter at an atomic level, something that Kurumada only touched on in his original manga. Seeing a cancer disciple as the honored protagonist cleans up a bit of the stain that Deathmask left on his constellation. Mei uses powerful techniques, but with the heart of a true saint of Athena. Remember when I mentioned at the beginning about a knight with divine blood? Here's the answer you won't find just anywhere. Actually, this is a theory where Mei discovered that Mitsumasa Kido was the reincarnation of Zeus. And this is a very strong theory in the universe of Knights of the Zodiac. Therefore, as the legitimate and blood-related son of Kido, Mei has a divine lineage. The Koma Berenice's armor was not only forged on the lost continent of Mu, it was also bathed in Athena's own blood. And because of that, Mei is not just a knight. He is a living weapon, created by the gods to contain what they themselves could not destroy. The enemy, Typhon, with the success of Lost Canvas, at least in the hearts of the fans, which had high-quality animation. And with the new attempts at computer-generated imagery projects, which, as we know, didn't work out very well, the story of the Gigantomachia would be a real goldmine that Toei still hasn't explored. This story has mystery, it has violence, and it has characters with deep psychological layers. Mei is the tragic hero that the franchise deserves if Toei decides to bring Deathmask's disciple into the story. She won't just be creating a new character for the anime version, but she'll also be honoring the purest and heaviest mythology of all the Knights of the Zodiac. I believe that official stories like this, which have great potential, should be adapted into animation. Toei should abandon these failed projects like the 3D animation and the movie to start something new that's directly connected to the canonical story. Do you agree with me? Would you like a Gigantomachia anime? Comment to let me know. Thanks for watching until the end. See you next time. Burn your cosmos to infinity.